They called it Year Zero, a fresh start, a rebirth of a nation. But for Cambodia, it became the year time stopped and never fully started again. Pol Pot, a former teacher with gentle manners, who smiled often, spoke softly, and believed he could rebuild humanity from the ground up. In 1975, he took power with his army, the Khmer Rouge. They marched into Phnom Penh, a city full of life, markets, laughter, and music, and ordered everyone to leave. "Go to the countryside," they said. "It will only be for a few days." But the days became years, and the years became graves. Pol Pot believed cities were poison. He believed books, education, and money were corruption. He wanted to return the world to purity, to the soil, to the past, to nothing. He called it Year Zero. No schools, no hospitals, no families beyond the revolution. Even names were replaced by numbers. The people obeyed. Not because they believed, but because disobedience meant vanishing. He divided the country into new people and old people. The new, city dwellers, teachers, students, anyone who had read too much. The old, farmers, peasants, workers of the land. The new were sent to the fields, told to dig, plant, and rebuild the nation from dust. But the ground they tilled soon became their grave. Witnesses said the nights were silent in the countryside, except for the faint hum of insects and the sound of the wind through endless grass. And sometimes, if you listened closely, you could hear the voices, prayers, pleas, carried off by the wind. Pol Pot ruled unseen, his words carried by radio and rumor. He said the world was watching with envy, that Cambodia had become pure. But there was no world left to watch. He had sealed it away behind walls of fear. Even his followers began to disappear, accused of betrayal, of thinking too much, of remembering the past. He turned on his own shadow. By the time his reign ended in 1979, Cambodia was a land of ghosts. Empty cities, abandoned schools, fields of silent testimony. A generation erased, as if the clock had been reset to nothing. Pol Pot fled into the jungle, still claiming victory, still believing he had done no wrong. He said he had built a paradise, but only the dead could see it. He died years later, peacefully, under a thatched roof, smiling in his sleep. No trial, no reckoning, only silence. And maybe that's the cruelest part, that some monsters never face their mirrors, and that history must bear their reflection instead. In Cambodia today, there are still fields where the earth shifts after rain, where bones rise to the surface as if the land itself refuses to forget. Because you can reset clocks, you can erase books, you can silence voices, but the ground always remembers. This was Pol Pot, the teacher who tried to erase time, and the ghosts who remind us that time always finds its way back.